together for me, and I said, do you mind if I go rogue? No, go rogue. Okay, so let's see where we go. Clay is an example. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I want to talk to you about what Clay just talked to you about, that it is very real. This is the age-old battle that you and I are engaged in of good versus evil. It's never changed. The battle has been engaged since they left the garden. It has been the same battle, and it just keeps getting more difficult because now our founders, who were Christian, they created a Christian-based nation. And I come from the People's Republic of Minnesota that has been so mismanaged by criminals. They're criminals. They lie, they cheat, and they steal. And by the way, they let immigrants who come to this country not wanting to assimilate lie, cheat, and steal from them our money. Guess what? There is nothing racist about calling out a criminal. So when I say that it's time. It's time. I mean, this is what they do in the great state of Minnesota. You know, our culture, that Scandinavian culture. By the way, I better make it clear before I go any farther. Minnesotans, are there any here? Ah, good. Then let me just say. Okay, well, born, you're wearing that hat. You must be from northern Minnesota, the Iron Range. No. Probably closer to Iowa. No, I'm going to leave that alone. The reason I bring it up is because I tell people regularly, Minnesota did not create passive-aggressive behavior, but we did perfect it, okay? And I happen to be more on the aggressive side, which doesn't always work in Minnesota, as Ralph will tell you. You know, sometimes Minnesotans are so afraid that you're going to call us a racist, you're going to call us an Islamophobe, you're going to call us some name that we just don't want to get into that fight. You know what? I would argue that I never did care, but I'm done being careful, even the least bit careful. And I don't really care where you come from, but if you come to this great country, you have to understand you're coming here to be an American. We celebrate everyone's culture. We're happy with that, as long as you are an American. Celebrate your culture. I don't care. Italian, Polish, Somali, okay? But they don't assimilate. And if they don't assimilate, then they should go the hell back to where they came from. Sorry, Ralph, I know this is a family show. I can't help myself today. Yeah. You got to fight. I mean, look at what's happened in my state, my great state of Minnesota. We have abortion laws that are as bad as North Korea. By the way, there's an article in our worthless media, because that's the other thing that Clay didn't talk about. We're not just fighting the fight here. We got to fight it out there every day because they have taken over the media. There's so few outlets that we have that actually speak the truth. These guys are constantly trying to inculcate. They're constantly trying to convince people that the truth isn't really the truth, that girls aren't really girls and boys aren't really boys, and that it's okay to do whatever in God's name you want to do. It ain't okay. There is right and wrong. There is moral and immoral. All you got to do is go to the greatest book ever and read it, and it'll tell you how other people that came long before us made the same mistakes. I mean, there's a reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. And by the way, that's what we're fighting. But I got good news for you. The good news is Americans are much smarter than these elite radical lefties I understand. And by the way, the media. Americans, Charlie Kirk showed you, but Ralph Reed's been showing us this long before Charlie even started. These guys have been doing this. Charlie was just a phenomenon. I think Ralph and I would agree. He was like a storm that was coming across the country, that new front that was coming across and bringing young people, college kids, into the fold. I had a bad day, obviously we all did, when Charlie was assassinated. but mine was on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives, where I had members who, some were in tears, but they were trying to figure out how they're going to deal with the young people that work for them in their offices, because the offices around here were devastated. These kids were uncontrollably upset. They were crying. They needed leadership. And I remember telling a group of our more right-sided members, if that's the way you measure members, they're all the same to me, but they like to call themselves different things. But I was talking to them because they were trying to figure out, what am I supposed to say to these kids? And I said, you got to talk about something called God's will, right? There's a reason why Donald Trump is still here. God's will is that his work is not done. By the way, our president knows that. I mean, our president, who likes my wife much better than me, and he makes that clear every time, and then I'm reminded by my staff that everybody likes your wife a lot more than you. I get that. But he told her he knows that he should not be here. He knows the reason he is here is because God has a job for him to finish. I mean, that is profound. The other side of that coin is God's will was that Charlie's job was done in this place, and that Charlie was going to be called home because he had done what he came here to do. And if you think about what's happened since, I have a little routine that I follow every morning. It involves a certain church up the street. And I realized after a while that all of a sudden more and more young people were showing up at Mass. And it didn't connect for me right away, because I'm telling you the story on the House floor. You would think it would have connected instantly. But it took me a few weeks to realize this is because of Charlie Kirk. These young people, yeah, it's something to celebrate. These young people are desperate to understand the purpose of life. They are desperate for leadership from adults, not political losers that are trying to tell them the world isn't the way the world was designed to be. They are looking for leaders. Charlie just gave them that option. You all are giving them that option by showing them what it means to lead and stand up for what you believe in. It's a phrase that I started using at home back in that governor's race long ago, and I'm going to use it today. We need to stand up, speak up, and take our country back from these evil Marxists that are moving in. It starts with all of you. I am so grateful. Again, I started this way, I will finish this way. I'm so grateful that you took your time to come to Washington, D.C. Clearly, you're not afraid. But when you're done with this experience this week and you go home, it is time to evangelize on a political level. It is time to get 10 friends, 10 family members, and explain to them it is not acceptable anymore to expect someone else to do this for us. If we love this country, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't love this country, if we love this country, then you know what? We should be fighting for this country every single day. And Clay Fuller is one of our newest members. Clay Fuller, who introduced himself to you folks today, should give you all kinds of hope in the future. That is the quality of human being that is literally stepping up on the front line and saying, I'm willing to go into battle and do this every day. But we need to be doing this together, because up here, it can get kind of lonely, right? You got to be swinging away, which is why when you show up, it gives our guys that